tactic. That's because it's more intimidating to their victim. The driver tries to drive off, but the men block the road. However, the 5 men have no idea that their scam has been caught on camera. The men get ready to try and get the man's insurance details. That way they can claim money from their insurance company. But when the driver informs them that their scam has been caught on camera, the men instantly give up. They likely moved on to the next victim who did not have a dash cam and was not so lucky. Mixtape scam. If you go to many cities in the United States, people may try to sell you their mixtapes. A lot of the time, these are good, honest, up-and-coming musicians trying to sell their music. But in some areas, for example, New York City's Times Square, there are many scammers. In this video, a man offers a tourist a free CD. He signs it and says he does not charge any money for his music. But as soon as he gives the tourist the CD, he then asks for money for the CD. He says this is like a donation instead of actual payment. But of course, it's really the same thing. After the man asks for money, the tourist says he's fine and does not want the album. But the scam artist then says that he will need something for the album.
Thank you, Ken. We don't sell it, Ken. We just ask for a donation for the record, Ken. Thank you. It doesn't matter what you have, Ken.
I'm sorry.
No,
He has various friends around him, which makes this more intimidating. A lot of the time, tourists simply cough up some money so the guy will leave them alone. At one point, the guy says, "Give me a small tip. After all, my guys are around."
Thanks, man.
Small tip. My guys is around.
I mean, I didn't want it.
Come right here, Ken. You gotta come here and you gotta give me a tip.
I don't know about you, but to me that sounds pretty threatening. These mixtape scams are very common in New York. According to some, the man who filmed this was later doing a live stream in New York. That's when one of these CD hustlers stalked him and threatened the man. This video went viral on TikTok and YouTube, and some of the comments even said, "These guys are why I no longer go to New York." This is because it's a very bad problem in some parts of the city and also in other parts of the USA. If you ever encounter one of these scammers, make sure not to be intimidated. Simply say you do not speak English and do not want their album. Wiper scammer. This is yet another insurance scammer in China, but this one scammer has a very different method. Instead of laying in the road or jumping on the vehicle, the scammer flags down this female driver. She slows down and the man begins leaning on her hood. He also grabs her window wiper for good measure. This means that she can't reverse, otherwise her wiper will break. The man is not shy to show what he wants, holding up a banknote. In this situation, he's not trying to get insurance money. He simply wants the driver to give him some easy cash. The man seems very relaxed, like he's having a normal conversation. But thankfully, the driver has seen this all before. She shouts, "Get off and get lost" at the man. After all, she is recording all of this on her dash cam.
一定坏了，一定坏了，一定坏了。
The man even seems like he's enjoying himself trying to scam this woman. Eventually he realizes that this woman is too stubborn to give him any money and fall for his scam, and he thumps the car's hood in anger. This just goes to show that you should stand up to scammers. They're trying to get money as easily as possible, and if you make it too difficult, they will simply give up and move on to the next person. It's always a good idea though to have a dash cam just in case. If it wasn't for this woman's dash cam, if the man called the police, they would not know who to believe. However, scammers will often not call the police. That's because they do this as a job and are sometimes known to cops. Running start. This is a pretty funny scammer fail coming from a Chinese city. One morning a man is driving down a busy road. That's when out of nowhere a woman runs up the road towards his car. She does not expect the man to slow down so quickly, but he does. It's quite funny how annoyed this woman visibly is. She marches off as she realizes her scam has failed. Unfortunately for everyone else on the road, this means that she will move on to them. But luckily in China, more than 60% of people have dash cams in their cars. This means it likely will take a while for this woman to find a good victim to scam. Motorbike scammers. Scammers riding motorbikes and mopeds is very common in some countries. A man is driving down a quiet street one night. That's when 2 guys on a moped speed in front of him and then slow down. They then pretend to get rear-ended. The first guy hops off and his friend tells him to lay down. The shirtless moped driver then gets off his bike. He begins acting very poorly, pretending that he was rear-ended by the driver. His friend lying on the floor seems very confused, like he doesn't really want to be there. Maybe this was his first time scamming. The moped duo were hoping for some free money, but after the driver alerted them that their entire scam had been caught on camera, they quickly moved on. Even if you're caught off guard by these scammers and don't have a dash cam, it may be worth saying that you do. They might believe you and simply move on to the next person. After all, many dash cams are rather small and scammers don't seem to ever notice them. Fake disability. This video comes from the city of Altai in China. He is a professional street beggar, but to gain more sympathy and money, he's got a good scam going. He pretends that he has lost both of his legs. He then moves around asking people for money on a board with wheels. He did this for a long time and was famous in the city. No one knew that his disability was fake until one day it was revealed in front of everyone. He had been riding the bus with someone earlier that day standing up normally. The same man from the bus later recognized him pretending to have a disability to get more money. Instead of just confronting him, he walked over and revealed the man in front of everyone. Using custom-made clothing, he was simply wrapping his legs behind his back. Because the man's legs were wrapped up, he had no choice but to wheel himself away in shame. Hopefully he won't be returning to scam people in this city ever again. Him disability was fake until one day it was revealed in front of everyone. He had been riding the bus with someone earlier that day standing up normally. The same man from the bus later recognized him pretending to have a disability to get more money. Instead of just confronting him, he walked over and revealed the man in front of everyone. Using custom-made clothing, he was simply wrapping his legs behind his back. Because the man's legs were wrapped up, he had no choice but to wheel himself away in shame. Hopefully he won't be returning to scam people in this city ever again. Thankfully, video of this went viral online, and now many people in China know to avoid this man and other such scammers. Fake homeless scams have been getting more and more popular all over the world, and I recently made an entire video all about that, so check it out if you haven't seen it already. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Comment below, which of these scams did you guys find the most crazy? If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. But as always, thank you guys for watching. There are some more videos you might like on screen right now. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.
Yeah, let's start with this. I'm sure most of you probably didn't even know this came out. I didn't know. My parents told me that it was actually released. We talked about it on stream last week or something. Basically, Netflix threw a desperate Hail Mary. They did a real-life Squid Game in the same vein as Mr. Beast, but did it so much worse and cheesier. So it's out. They're way too late to this trend. Like, this is way tardy to the party. This would be like if they made a reality TV show about the best fidget spinner. Like, it's, I think, missed the mark entirely on, like, hitting while the iron's hot. And my parents and I watched the first episode tonight. It fucking sucks. So they use, like, real people. It was an open casting call. People signed up. They go here and they play the Squid Games in real life. It's terrible. Like, if they had just played the games and made a show out of it, it'd be whatever. It'd be forgettable, but I guess mindless popcorn entertainment for a game show. They don't. They try and interject drama into it, a la the actual show, and it falls so flat. So it really feels like they instructed all the people to be as fake and over the top as possible. So, where do we even begin? So they do interviews with all the people. Well, not all the people, a lot of the people. And every single one of them has to have their own quirky personality. So there's one guy who's like, sympathy is a weakness. Like, he's speaking like an anime character. And it's right before red light, green light. Spoilers, he makes it through red light, green light. And then he's like, yeah, I'm pretty confident. God made me this way. Why would I want to be anybody else? You know, people go through struggles, but they, you know, I don't complain about it. You go through struggles that I went through. The difference between you and me is I'm not whining. Like, that kind of shit. It's fucking terrible. Like, it is insufferable. And it's clear that these people are instructed to say things like this, to be abrasive, to be over the top. Like, a girl was doing an interview and she's like, my name actually means all-knowing, which is accurate because I can see the future. And then she kind of goes in on that a little bit. Like, it's clear. They are trying very hard to put some kind of personality into just this very vapid concept of just doing the Squid Games IRL. It's fucking awful. My parents and I ended up just making fun of it the entire time. And it is so phony. I think most of it is scripted. Like, I really do. I think the vast majority of what was filmed here had to be scripted to some level. Because there's, like, this test where after red light, green light, they take two people that just happen to be in the kitchen peeling carrots together and, you know, chit-chatting. And they're like, you two, you have the choice. Give one player an advantage in the next game or eliminate somebody. And it's like this crescendo of music. Like, what the fuck are they going to do? Are they going to execute somebody? Oh my god. It's the biggest decision of their life. So then they're like debating the morality back and forth as they're peeling carrots, and they're like, they do like 15 different YouTuber thumbnail faces, and like 45 different camera cuts. Eventually they decide to eliminate somebody. And the person they eliminate is number 200. And what's special about number 200 is they had given him his own little brief character arc like 45 seconds before where he's like, hey, my name's, I think his name was Mati, I think. He's like, I just want to make a lot of friends here. I want to meet people. I want to have a lot of fun, maybe get a good group together and just meet everyone. And then 45 seconds later, the test was they choose to eliminate him. And I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. When they eliminate him, they make a big announcement. The testers have decided to eliminate contestant, and then they spend about a full minute like flipping through numbers to build suspense, and all the people are instructed to be like on edge as possible. So you have people